Chapter 58A. The Luna Ceremony. Benjamin. I'm coming up. I found something about the Moonstone ceremony. Bring coffee. It was hard to sleep recently. Although the elder's spiny house dog returned to them, their men stayed to keep an eye on the Omegas. I didn't like having them here around the pack house. Megan said that they didn't intervene unless she got angry. They wouldn't let her give out any punishments, though. How the fuck was I supposed to get a hold of them if we couldn't punish them? People respect one thing, and that is power. Megan knocks and comes in bringing a tray of coffee with her. I wait until she pours my coffee how I like and sets it on my desk. Sit down. I take a long sip of it. So, I called the Omegas at Moonstone, pretended that Haley had a dietary restriction. The lead Omega there wasn't very talkative and just stuck to it. Get on with it. But I called back later and got a young Omega. I was able to pretend to be innocent and ask about the Luna. She said they were so surprised that he was taking a Luna. Taking a Luna? That had me sit up in my seat. Apparently, the Alpha had a mate but then got someone else pregnant, or she found out after. No one is sure. So that is who the Luna is going to be. She said no one has seen his mate in days, and her room has been cleared out. Well, I smile widely. It looks like Isla is out, and this new Luna is hopefully someone we can respect and build a stronger alliance with. That solved a huge problem for me. An Omega of this pack would never be allowed to rise up to Luna. It was unheard of, and I would not let her shame my pack like that. Megan twirls her hair and sits back. Anything else you need? I look at her. I don't want to go back downstairs. I'm bored. She looks at me. I'm working, and I need to call my family here. I link Juliana, Haley, and Seth to come. Fine. You're being such a prude. She flicks her ponytail and leaves. I wait for Juliana and my kids to get there. I rarely call family meetings, and I can see the confusion on their faces and the boredom on Seth's. We got an invitation to a Luna ceremony. I slide the invitation across my desk. Juliana looks at it and Haley reads over her shoulder. Why isn't there a name? Juliana looks at me. Well, I go into the story of what I heard. I didn't say it was Megan that found out, but I knew Juliana knew. So there's a new Luna and not that Omega bitch? Haley sits up with a wide smile. I nod. Would you like to accompany me to the ceremony? It's tomorrow. Juliana nods excitedly. Seth shrugs. Seth, if you are going to ever become Alpha, you need to present yourself at these functions. You need to network with the leaders of our world. I must have said it a bit too harshly because Juliana glares at me. We will have to leave tomorrow afternoon to have time to get settled in. If you're coming, I expect your bags downstairs at 3 p.m. sharp. Shopping? Juliana whispers to Haley. Didn't you just buy a whole new wardrobe? I ask Haley. Daddy, this is different. Maybe my mate is there. I have to look my best. You have met all the ranked members of the nearby packs. I doubt there will be anyone new there. Wear one of the thousands of dresses you have. Juliana glares at me again. What about me? She asks. You're my mate. The Luna of this pack for almost 2 decades now. It doesn't matter what you wear. No one is going to be looking at you. I say honestly, going back to my work. Fuck you, she spits and stands up grabbing Haley's arm. I have his credit cards. Let's go. She slams the door. You fuck that one up, Pops, Seth says, still sitting down. You don't have to come, but if you decide that you are coming with us, you are presenting yourself not as the Alpha's son, but as the future Alpha. I expect you to come put together and ready to embrace that role. He nods, but doesn't look at me. When do you think I will be given that position? He asks his feet. Look at me when you're speaking to me. You're of Alpha blood. Don't address your feet. Address the person you are talking to. He looks up and glares at me. Okay, Dad. When do you think I will get the Alpha position? When you stop acting like the Alpha's son, and you start acting like the future Alpha, as I said. You need to get your act together. I'll come with you tomorrow and show you I can. Good. That's what I wanted to hear. He wouldn't be getting the alpha position, though. Not anytime soon. Isla. The next day went by in a blur. Gianna had so many vendors come over to show us things and get our approval. I felt like we didn't have a moment to breathe. Things were starting to get set up, and I stole a peek from the tree line outside the doctor's cabin. A stage was set up, and there were more tables than I could count. It looked like a covered dance floor was going up as well. Gianna told me that I probably wouldn't have time to really enjoy the festivities, as everyone would want to talk to me and congratulate me. She said she barely had time for a bite of food at hers, so she was going to come over early and make sure I was well fed. Jackson. I had to run back to my room again to grab a few things I would need for the ceremony. My mom was very specific about the dress, shoes, and shirt I was to bring. Everything else was taken care of. I finished up work early, and I wanted to get back to Isla as soon as I could, even if that meant sitting through hours of my mother's vendor meetings. I needed to be near her. I was craving her more since I thought I would lose her, and I knew she felt the same. I put the key in my door and realized it was already unlocked. After Jennifer told me she snuck into my room the other night, I made sure to lock it every time I left. I turned on the light. Flint was on high alert. Someone has been in here. Clothes were strewn onto the floor. I was about to mind-link Cam to have his men sent up when I heard a sound in the bathroom that distracted me from my thoughts. More of an absence of sound. The shower turned off. I was confused but still on alert until Jennifer walked out wearing Isla's robe. All the worry and confusion I felt turned into anger. "Babe, you're here!" She rushes over. "What are you doing here? I thought you were staying downstairs," I ask her. How did she even get in? "I've been waiting for you, and I was sick of it. When I got the invitation, I was very surprised, by the way. I figured I didn't need to stay away from you. This will be my room tomorrow night, so I started moving in." She looks at the pile of clothes. "I had to move a lot of that bitch's shit, though. I hope you help me get rid of it." I turned to go into my closet, trying to mask my anger. I was so close. We were so close. Thankfully, she hadn't touched my stuff, and I found the shoes and shirt that I needed and had time to calm down. By the time I leave, I had a better grip on my emotions. "Jen, I have to get going. My mom needs me." I walk out and say, hoping she's back in the bathroom so I can sneak out. To my horror, she's sprawled out on my bed, completely naked. My eyes bulge out of pure shock, and she sits up and grins. "Like what you see?" She rubs her leg up and down the bed. "Mark me, right now. I'm going to be your Luna tomorrow." "I want to do this traditionally. No marking until after the ceremony. I shouldn't even see you until tomorrow." I look down, avoiding looking at any part of her body. "You're way too traditional. At least just fuck me." "I want to do this right. I will do this right." I turn and leave. I needed to get my locks changed. Jennifer. Jackson has never turned me down before when I showed up in his room. Was it because I was pregnant? I hated how my stomach looked now. It was so swollen. I couldn't wait to get back to my flat stomach. A few more months of this baby taking over my life, and then I would be hot again. I sprawled out naked on the bed, secure in my position. My room and the Alpha's were now one in the same. Tomorrow was my Luna ceremony, and thankfully we caught Gianna before she could go too far with her way. I injected personality in the ceremony. Bold personality. I would have to wake up early to make sure that everything was perfect. I fell asleep in my massive bed, thinking about the changes I was going to make to this pack. I would be the best damn Luna this pack ever had. I could hardly sleep last night, not because of this damn baby, but because of the excitement. I wanted to start getting ready. The day has come where I would take my rightful place. My dress should be delivered this morning, and I needed to check on the decorations. I quickly showered and got ready before the sun even rose. I had a new sense of purpose. Everything that I walked past was mine. The Omegas had to obey me, and no more of this, "I need to ask the Alpha" shit. I couldn't wait to put everyone in their place. The pack house belonged to me, and this was where I would raise the Alpha's kids. This mansion was my home now, and the pack lands belong to me. I smiled as I burst into the kitchen, happy to see the Omegas already working away. The lead Omega comes up to me. I never bothered to learn her name. Miss Jennifer, what can we do for you? So now she was nice to me. I smirked at her, letting her sweat for a second. I trust you got my menus and you're going to be making my meals here on out? Or do I have to tell the Alpha that you're refusing to give proper nutrients to his Luna? I cock my head and look at her. We were going to start this off the right way. Show her who was boss. I wanted clear boundaries. No sitting in the kitchen eating like I saw Isla and her old Omega friend do. I actually didn't want to step inside this kitchen ever again. I would have to set up a meeting with her every week in my new office. Another thing that needed to be redecorated. Gianna's taste was too classic for me. Too simple. I'm glad my mom got to her before she could fuck up my ceremony with her basic taste. The lead Omega nods and looks down. Yes, of course. Everything will be done according to your wishes. I cross my arms and stare at her. Good. Turning on my heel, I go to leave and pause before I get to the door. One last thing. It's Luna to you. She nods. Yes, Luna. I was never going to get over the sound of that. I don't know why we had to have the ceremony outside. There were too many leaves around, and it would ruin my color palette. I wanted everything black and dark pink, and the fall leaves would clash. But Gianna said there was an extensive guest list, and she already ordered outdoor furniture, so I would let it slide. This time. I head out back and motion for a few Omegas to open the doors for me, which they reluctantly do. I would need to train them better. Jackson had a reputation outside of the pack, sure, but he was the softest alpha and didn't make the Omegas act like Omegas should. Ranks beneath us. I'm not surprised to see Gianna is already outside dictating where the tables and chairs should go. Wait, is that an off-white tablecloth? What are all these candles doing here? I most certainly did not want candles. I specifically asked for large silver candelabras with diamonds hanging from them, not pillar candles. I swear, if someone messed this up for me. Jennifer, dear, Gianna says, looking at me surprised. Is there a mistake? I demand, pointing to the tablecloths and candles. If they fucked this up, they must have fucked up so much more. Ah. She looks to where I was pointing. Yes, there was. It's all sorted out and the right things are on the way. The dark pink ones that you wanted. Fuchsia. I roll my eyes at her, and she looks a bit shocked. No need to play the nice girlfriend anymore. I was going to be ranked above any female in this pack in a few hours. Fuchsia, she says with a tight smile. Yes, dear. I wanted to make sure that everything else was up to my taste. With 2 major things messed up already, I couldn't trust her. I turned away from her to survey the rest of the deliveries. Jennifer, what are you still doing here? You're going to be late. Gianna calls after me. Late for what? I demand, turning around to face her again. Jackson has booked you and your mother a spa day today. All day? I have to get ready. I have a hair and makeup team coming. You'll be back in time to get ready for the ceremony. We don't want you to miss that. She smiles. Jackson insisted that you spend today outside the pack, relaxing. Well, even if he was being a bit strange, I guess he must just be more traditional than I thought. A spa day might be nice, if I could trust that things were going to go well here. You have my list of what I want. The rest of it is going to be followed exactly. It wasn't a question. Jackson won't be happy if he finds out that my Luna ceremony that I wasn't allowed to plan in advance is messed up for me. I look her in the eye, making sure she understands there will be no mistakes. Yes, Jennifer, everything will be perfect this evening. It's Luna to you. I brush past her, not waiting for a response, smiling at the face I imagine her having. She was Jackson's mother and this baby's grandmother for all intents and purposes, but I outranked her. Isla. Jackson pulls me close to him and snuggles behind me. Wake up, Luna. I've been awake for a while now. I turn to face him. Nervous? Very, I say honestly. About what? He rubs the tip of his nose to mine. About people judging me, about being the Luna of a pack when all I've known how to be is an Omega, about not being able to fit in with all the ranked members that come. He pulls back and looks into my eyes. You are my destined mate. Everyone in this pack is going to be thrilled that I found my Luna. Once they get to know you, they will be even happier. Everyone that has met you knows that you are Luna material. Being Luna is something that you can and will learn, and you are a natural already. It's not about rank, but about who you are. That will make you an amazing Luna. You have been fitting in with the ranked members here. Lucas, Cam, my parents. I laugh. They don't feel like ranked members, I interject. Exactly. The other pack's ranked members are usually like that too. We are more formal with each other, but everyone has a close relationship within the pack. Once you get to know them and they open up to you, you'll see that they aren't so different from us, and far less formal than you think. He was making some good points. Anything else? He starts rubbing the tip of his nose down my jawline and my neck until he gets to my marking spot. He moves my hair to the side and kisses it, then gently, before lightly sucking it. Sparks erupt from, and my body immediately feels charged. I said, was there anything else bothering you? He whispers into my neck. No, not that I can think of. Good. He pulls back from me and laughs at my angry face. Don't worry, I'll have you all tonight. Finally, alone. He jumps out of bed. Also, my mother is about to be here. You have a long day ahead of you. He pulls me up on my feet. I miss you already. I smile up at him. You're so cheesy. You love it. He kisses me deeply and pulls away too soon, his eyes clouding over. She's outside. We walk hand in hand to the door and are met with an angry Gianna. I've never seen her anything less than put together. I hope nothing major went wrong. What's wrong? Jackson asks. The wrong shipment of silverware? He jokes. Jennifer, she spits and walks in. Jackson and I exchange a look. She demanded that I call her Luna. Jackson's eyes go wide. She did not. She did. It's Luna to you, she says in a mocking voice. No, she didn't, Jackson repeats. My eyes are wide. How could she be so rude to her? I guess that facade ended when she secured her position, or thought that she did. She deserves everything that is coming to her. Gianna scowls. Okay, I'm done thinking about her. She has occupied enough of my headspace for the day. She takes a deep breath and waves her hands around. Now, she turns to me smiling. Are you ready? Everything is coming together perfectly. I just checked with the vendors and the furniture is already set up. I look outside. It's barely light out. Gianna, did you even sleep? I ask. She waves me off. I'll sleep when you are Luna. My work will be done, for the week at least. Jackson chuckles and hugs me from behind. I already woke up Lucas and Cameron. Gianna calls over her shoulder, making coffee in the kitchen. Mom, you did not. I did. We just have to put on suits and we're done. I'm sure you can make yourself useful. She pushes him out the door, or tries to. It's comical watching this thin woman trying to push someone out that is almost a foot taller than her and at least 3 times her size. He turns around and pulls her into a tight hug, kissing her cheek. Thanks, Mom. I love you. She smiles widely at him. I can't help smiling either. He comes up to me and pulls me into his arms for a quick kiss. I love you, my Luna. I put my hand on his cheek. I love you, my Alpha. Chapter 58b. The Luna Ceremony. Gianna has breakfast brought to us. She spends the time going over the visiting Alpha's names. To my chagrin, most confirm their attendance. The hair and makeup team arrive, a literal team of 5 people, pulling us from the guest list. Thankfully, they were here to get Gianna and Abigail ready too, so I wasn't the complete center of attention. This is both the fastest and slowest day of my life. Every minute seems to drag on, but the hours go fast. Before I know it, we are almost ready. Abigail and Gianna meet me in the master bedroom when their hair and makeup is done. I can't help but notice how beautiful Abigail looks. She's always been beautiful, but she is radiant now. Not just because of her perfectly pinned hair or makeup, she was happy, shining from the inside. They kept my makeup light, highlighting my eyes, making them look even larger than normal, and my lips were a light red that I actually loved. They both put a hand on my shoulder, and I look in the mirror at my two mother figures. We all look like we could cry. Gianna dabs her eyes. No tears. I insisted on all waterproof makeup, but still, I don't want anyone all puffy before we get started. She fans her eyes and Abigail does the same, copying Gianna's movements. I'll go get dressed and give you two a moment, Gianna says. Abigail, I had your dress brought in. It's in your closet. Thanks, Gia. I stand up to face Abigail. I can't believe, no, I can believe this. This is everything you've deserved. I'm just so happy I am here to witness this. Thank you so much for having me be a part of your big day. I pull her into a tight hug. Thank you for always being there. Always. She squeezes me and then pulls away to look me over. Isla. She smiles, not able to speak for a few moments. I am so incomparably happy. I don't think anyone has been this happy before. I think I understand the feeling. I smile at her. We both look at each other for a moment. Nothing more needed to be said. We both had our fairy tale and we got to witness each other. We were luckier than anyone else alive. Gianna and Abigail both chose silver gowns in similar shades. Gianna kept commenting about how they could have had them made in the same fabric, but there wasn't enough time. Abigail's was a simple silver silk dress. It flared at the waist and was floor length. Gianna insisted she got a ribbon belt around the waist that had a gemstone pattern on the front. Abigail loved the belt, but apparently turned it down when she saw the price tag. So naturally, Gianna purchased it behind her back and gifted it to her tonight. Gianna looked stunning in a floor-length gown as well. Hers had a sheer layer of fabric with embroidered silver flowers that clung to a slightly lighter shade of silver. They looked stunning. They helped me slip on my dress. It fit perfectly. I didn't even have to wear heels. I would learn them eventually. Gianna said she would teach me, but I had enough to worry about tonight without thinking about where to put my feet. Gianna produced a pair of white flats. I put insoles so they're even more comfortable. She winks at me. I looked in the mirror and I was surprised at what I saw. The dress fit perfectly, hugging my curves. The makeup was subtle, but accentuated my favorite features. My hair was blown out and slightly curled with one side held back in thick pins. One last thing. Gianna opened a box and showed me a vintage silver hair comb with diamonds encrusted throughout. It reflected the light in the room. I don't think I could be trusted with something so beautiful. Gianna motioned for me to sit in front of the mirror and put the comb on the side of my hair that was swept back. Perfect, she says, and kisses my cheek. An old family heirloom. I turn to look at her and grab her hands in mine. Thank you. Thank you for everything. There is no way I can ever repay you for what you've done for me, how you've helped me. Nonsense. I'm just helping my daughter. Tears welled up. Now, dear, no tears until we announce you as Luna. I laugh as she wipes them away before they have a chance to fall. Are we ready? She asks. I nod. When we get to the front room, Abigail hands Gianna a box with her name on it. And they pull out white faux fur jackets that are similar to mine. From Jackson, Abigail says. We have such a good boy. Gianna strokes her jacket. We do, Abigail and I both say at the same time. Benjamin. I hadn't been to Moonstone for a while. I almost forgot how formidable it looked, the pack house sitting right at the base of that large mountain. It was hard to believe that we were so close with such different landscapes. I pull up and an Omega shows us to our room, since the ranked members were busy elsewhere getting set up. They didn't meet us out front like they traditionally would have for another kind of event or meeting. The pack house was larger than it looked on the outside. Stone was everywhere like a medieval castle. Cold. We get settled in quickly in our rooms. I'm ready to see what I can find out about this new Luna. I already knew she would be a huge asset to our pack if I could get to her before another alpha did. To my chagrin, I couldn't find her anywhere. I expected that much as she was probably getting ready. It was surprising that the people, or should I say Omegas, I talked to didn't speak too highly of her either. They seemed respectful of her position, but no respect for her as a person. I got a decent description and knew what I was looking for. I would pull her immediately aside. Alone. When I got the chance. Chapter 59. I said pink. Jennifer. Today dragged. The first few spa appointments were relaxing, but then I was getting antsy. After the mud bath, I felt gross, and I just wanted to go back. I didn't know what time it was here. No clocks were around to make us feel more relaxed, but it put me on edge. I needed to get ready. I was going to see if I could switch my next appointment to a mani-pedi so I could at least get that out of the way. My mom loved every second of it, though. She never wanted to leave. If this is what it's like to be the Luna's mom, I'll take it. She smiled on the way home. There will be a lot more of that, I can assure you. I felt more relaxed when we finally reached the gates. I showered again, feeling like I still had mud all over me, and had my hair and makeup done at the same time with the team I booked. My hair was straightened and blown out, and I had them do a dark smoky eye, the longest fake lashes they had, and dark pink lipstick. I looked fucking hot. I hated that my dress had to be white, but Jackson was apparently all about tradition, so I compromised. This time. I chose a form-fitting one, even though I was pregnant. Fuck it, I might as well show off my claim. The top was a mostly sheer corset that pushed my boobs up. One long slit came up the side to show off my legs. I was going to show them what a hot Luna looked like and what their Luna looked like. No need for some stuffy ball gown. I finished off the look with long diamond earrings and pink stilettos to match the decor. I could hear the party buzzing outside of my window and stepped out on the balcony to see it. I wanted to see what was going on, but I didn't want to ruin my grand entrance. The attendance was great. The backyard was comfortably packed. I couldn't see many of the details, but people seemed to be enjoying themselves. I knew they would be at a party thrown by me. When is my entrance? I linked Jackson. I'm going to announce my Luna in 20. Perfect. See you soon, babe. Can't wait. I waited a painstaking 10 minutes before I headed down and grabbed a cocktail and found my parents standing near the stage. Ready, dearest? My father says. Jean, we are so proud of you. My mom puts an arm around me and I shrug it off. It was pretty crowded and I didn't have much of a chance to look around. I would later, after I was announced as Luna. The stage wasn't adorned with the pink ribbons and flowers I wanted, though. There were white flowers. And was that eucalyptus? Gianna fucked it up. All pink flowers, I said. All pink. Isla. I followed Abigail and Gianna closely, wrapping myself in a coat, hoping not to be seen. Gianna walks ahead of us and starts mingling with the crowd, finding William. She told us there was a spot by the stage in the shadows that we could be decently hidden. She appeared a few seconds later, shoving glasses of champagne in our hands before quickly leaving with a wink. I took a few deep breaths to steady myself and a long sip of champagne. I heard Jackson's booming voice on stage, accentuated by a microphone. It made me both nervous and calm at the same time. It was starting, but every second I would get closer to my happy ending, closer to being officially Jackson's. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to officially meet and accept my Luna. Pack members cheered. I imagined him smiling. Those of you that knew me knew I was looking for my Luna for some time. There has been a lot of trials and setbacks to get here, but we are finally at a place where we can welcome her. More cheering. Let me introduce my parents first. William and Gianna Black, would you mind joining me on stage? He paused for a few seconds. My parents have supported me, well, from infancy. That got a few laughs. But they always told me to treasure my Luna above all else. It is my pleasure to call my Luna to the stage. I take a deep breath and Abigail squeezes my hand. I look up at Jackson and see him smiling down at me. The last of my worries wash away, and I couldn't get to him fast enough. Jennifer. Jackson rambles on about the importance of his Luna. I couldn't listen. I was so nervous. I have never been closer to getting what I wanted. I could feel it and taste it because it was real. It was no longer a dream, no longer a scheme. This was happening in a few short minutes. I just wanted to speed it up. Finally, he gets to it. It is my pleasure to call my Luna to the stage. I lift up my dress and walk toward the stage, ignoring my parents' well wishes. I smile up at him. Jackson, my chosen mate. But he's not looking at me. Who is he looking at? Chapter 60. My Luna. Isla. I wouldn't focus on Jennifer. I would focus on Jackson. Pretend that this was a normal event, or else I would be too paralyzed to go up there. Jackson beamed at me and held out his hand when I got to the top of the stage, and my throat caught in my chest. He's wearing a black suit with a white shirt and a slightly silver tie. I didn't think he could get any more attractive. He's looking at me like I'm the only person in the world, and I hesitate in my step. Holy fuck, he is all mine. He reaches for my hand, and I remember where I am long enough to take a step forward. I put my hand forward to his smile. You filthy bitch! I don't look at the person that the voice is coming from. Jackson doesn't break eye contact with me either. He looks me over appreciatively. You are absolutely beautiful, my love. I love that you are wearing my mom's dress. It looks so elegant on you. He pulls me close. You're not so bad yourself, I tease. Absolute perfection is an understatement. I make eye contact with him, and he tilts my chin up to meet him. The click of heels marches up behind us. You fucking whore! Get off of my stage! Jackson turns around and stands in front of me protectively. Jennifer, I think there has been a miscommunication. You are more than welcome to show up to welcome my Luna. He looks her in the eyes. From the audience. The crowd was completely silent, confused and enthralled by the situation. Some people knew a bit of the story, but most were completely in the dark. No! She starts shaking. You cannot take another Luna beside me. I am your only option. I peer around to look at her from behind Jackson. She's holding her stomach up, aggressively rubbing it with both hands. And why do you think that is? I ask, walking up from behind his broad shoulders to stand next to him, taking his hand in mine. She looks at our hands and seethes in anger. She turns to the crowd and shouts, Because I am pregnant with Alpha Jackson's baby. My son will be the next Alpha of Moonstone. The crowd lets out a collective gasp. Prove it, Jackson says. I don't know what you're trying to pull, she whispers to us. You think that just because you are staging some secret Luna ceremony, everyone will accept you, but the elders won't. You will not get away with this tonight or ever. It's me or nothing, Jackson. She looks between us. There is a Luna ceremony, and I am ready to take my rightful place. You need to stop with this stupid dream of keeping your Omega mate. She yells the last two words. The crowd doesn't respond. Maybe they really don't care about rank, as Jackson said. Prove it, Jackson repeats. Where is the doctor? Jennifer yells. We got a paternity test done. He's the dad. The crowd is restless, murmuring between themselves. Right here. The doctor comes up to the stage. I stole a glance behind to see Abigail standing at the bottom, peering up at me, her eyes wide but giving me a smile. She mouths, You got this, and I smile back at her. I knew she was loving this, and I wish I could have been watching from the sidelines with her. Do you mind, Alpha? Jackson shakes his head, and Jim walks up to the microphone. Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Lockhart of the Moonstone Pack. I have been practicing here for the past 20 years. That gets a few claps and cheers from the audience, and Jim laughs a bit. Thank you. What Jennifer over here claims is true. The audience gasps again. However, another test was done that confirmed that there is no way Alpha Jackson is the father. Confused murmurs rise again. I can't be exactly sure what happened, and we intend to find out, but the first test seemed to have been tampered with, or we were tricked by Jennifer. We took blood a few days later when she didn't have time to prepare, and the results were different. Paternity tests are pretty accurate, and I've never seen one change like this completely. That is why we think, well, we know that the first time around, something was tampering with the truth. Bullshit. You just don't want to accept that my baby is yours. Sorry you got me pregnant before you found your mate, but that isn't my fault, she yells. The crowd seems to sympathize with her, but it's hard to tell. You must have done something to the second test, or faked one. Did Jackson pay you off to fake it and then concoct this elaborate ruse to take your mate and condemn your child? The crowd seemed angry. Seemed like they believed her. Is there another doctor out there? Someone raises their hand. Come on to the front and you can look at these results. I have both of them here. You can see the blood is the same, but the results are different. He comes up and looks the tests over, looking confused for a second. Yes, they seem to both be legitimate tests. He clears his throat and hands it back to Jim. You could have faked it. Jennifer stomps her feet. Jackson sighs. We want to get another one done. Someone in the audience pipes up. Lisa comes to the stage, followed by Greg. You're accusing our daughter of some pretty big stuff here, Greg says, red in the face. I'm sorry. I conducted both tests myself and had them sent away to another lab. The lab confirmed what I tested, and I can show you everything. Jim looks actually sympathetic. We will have another one done ourselves. He grabs Jennifer's shoulder. Without you, he adds. Jennifer looks worried for a second and then smug. I'm ready to do another test. Give me the time and the day. She crosses her arms. You can visit her tomorrow, Jackson says. Supervised. Visit her? She's my daughter. She's coming with me. Lisa scoffs, shooting daggers at us. Jennifer Stanley, you are hereby accused of lying to the Alpha and his Luna, tampering with evidence, and entrapment. Cameron comes up to the stage, followed by a few men. More gasps from the crowd. No, I will not allow it, Greg interjects. Step aside or you're coming with her, Cameron says, his voice ice. I've never seen this side of him. Lisa looks wide-eyed and frantic, but steps aside. Mom, Dad, do something, Jennifer yells. Cameron escorts her, kicking and screaming, off the stage. You and your rogue mate will pay for this. She will never be Luna. Not for long. She laughs crazily. I am coming for you all, you piece of shit-ass fucks. Greg and Lisa throw us glares and retreat back into the audience. William and Gianna come behind me and put their hands on my shoulders. You okay, son? Jackson nods. A bit more drama than I wanted, but I'm glad it's over, Jackson whispers before turning to the crowd. I'm sorry about all of that. That was a bit more entertainment than we bargained for. A few hollow laughs come from the audience. It had come to our attention almost too late. Jackson pulls me close to him. That Jennifer was trying to trick and entrap me into leaving my mate, saying her child was mine when we later found out otherwise. I just want it to be known that when we thought the baby was mine, my parents and I were willing to accept full responsibility. It was only until we found some things that we decided there was need for another paternity test. There were a few nods. Do you mind if we go on? I would love for my mate to officially become my Luna, and then we can continue the festivities. He smiles at me, and cheers erupt from the audience. Thank you for bearing with us. We apologize for the scene we caused. Jim, please stay on stage. I would like to invite Abigail, my mate's closest family, to come and join us too. Abigail comes up with a wide smile that doesn't leave her face before taking her place behind us next to Jim and Jackson's parents. William stands by us and takes a gold decorative chalice decorated with sparkling moonstone moons and wolves howling at them, with mountains in the background. I was caught up in the intricate detail and didn't notice William speaking for a moment.
Isla, are you ready to accept your duty as Luna of Moonstone?
Yes, I am. I look at Jackson, his eyes filled with love.
Are you prepared to stand by your alpha, help guide him, and be his counterpart in all pack matters?
Yes.
Do you accept responsibility for each and every member of this pack and put their well-being and protection above all else?
I do. I nod. Jackson's eyes are misting over.
Isla, Jackson, please place your palm face up.
We do as we're told. William pulls out a gold blade and makes a small cut in both of our hands. I wince.
Please join your hands.
He puts the cup under our hands and waits for our combined blood to fall. As soon as a drop falls in the chalice, I feel the wind kick up around us, swirling the three of us for a second before it stops immediately. I felt my ties break from elsewhere and be reforged to the Moonstone pack. Welcome, Luna. Hello, Luna. Welcome to Moonstone. We're happy to have you. You're so welcome. Hi, Luna. Voices of pack members filled my head.
I present Luna Isla of the Moonstone Pack.
William announces, and everyone claps and cheers. I smile widely at the audience. The feeling of acceptance and complete happiness was overwhelming. Thank you so much for accepting me, I say into the microphone. I have loved my time here so far and everyone I've met, and I can't wait to know each and every one of you. More cheers erupted.
One last thing,
Jackson says, and motions to someone behind me. Abigail walks up confused.
No pressure, but we would love to have you as part of the pack.
She looks at me, and I nod enthusiastically. William comes up and asks Abigail if she would like to renounce her ties to Silver Moon and join Moonstone. She agrees, and he places a small slice on her palm, and she joins her hand with Jackson as I did. Tears fill her eyes when it's done, and she embraces me.
I was so worried I wouldn't be able to mind link you anymore.
She laughs. I hug her tight, and Jim comes up behind us and pulls us both into a hug.
Welcome to the pack, girls,
he says. We walk down from the stage. Gianna was right. There was no time to sit down or eat food or a drink. There were immediately throngs of people congratulating us. I was thankful Gianna made me shove some food down before we left, even though I didn't think I was hungry. Gianna had outdone herself. It felt like a fairy tale, my own personal fairy tale. There were warm lights from candles and fairy lights that we could see after dark, but it still felt cozy. I'm sure the food was wonderful, and everyone seemed to be having a great time.
Alpha Jackson, Luna, Isla.
Someone comes up and shakes Jackson's hand.
It's nice to meet you in person. My name is John.
Oh, Elder John. Oh, thank you so much for all you've been doing to help the investigation. I smile at him.
Thank you both. I don't know how much longer that would have been going on for.
He shakes his head.
I am so happy you found your mate, Jackson. I know how long you've been waiting for your Luna. Elder John.
William comes up and claps him on the back.
William, old friend, just call me John. Last thing before I catch up with your father. If you need me to reside over the paternity test she's requesting, I'm more than happy to stay to make it official.
Thank you. Jackson shakes his head and smiles.
That would be appreciated. I don't know the stories that will be spun after tonight, but we want to make sure that no one thinks we're lying or screwing anyone over.
Thank you, Elder John. It's a pleasure. I take his hand. Gianna comes up with Abigail and hands us some more champagne and a small plate of appetizers. Gianna, you've outdone yourself. This is all incredible. I can't believe you pulled this together in 3 days, I gush. Gianna looks around. It is pretty impressive, isn't it? She laughs. But I didn't do it alone. These were all your ideas, and Abigail was crucial in the execution. We did it in 3 days. She smiles at us. Now, we have to have a girls' day and night soon. I want to take you to my favorite spot and maybe a city getaway. She claps her hands.
I just got my Luna back and you're taking her away?
Jackson says, a mock frown etched across his face. Just for a while. You have to share. She is my daughter now, too. She scolds. I laugh, filled with complete happiness. Everything played out perfectly, way better than I could have ever imagined. The Luna ceremony felt intimate, and the party, although overwhelming, was actually really fun. Chapter 61. Our Favorite Clearing. Benjamin. I drag my family down to the party early, while there are still some people setting up. I grab a drink from an Omega and took a seat at one of the tables waiting. Haley was looking around for goddess knows what. Seth looked bored, and Juliana was twirling a piece of her hair in her fingers. My family, my own family, were liabilities. I wish they could conduct themselves with some sort of decorum. I want us to get in with the new Luna here, I explained to them after no one said anything for a few minutes. Since things have been rocky since Alpha Jackson found his mate at our pack, that Omega. I make sure to whisper the last part, even though no one is around to hear. Why does it matter? The only reason we were on thin ice or whatever is because of that filthy Omega slut. Haley sits up, looking pissed. If he would have taken a chosen mate, it should have been me anyway. Juliana pats her arm sympathetically. This new Luna is pregnant with his child. He wouldn't have taken a chosen mate unless he was forced to, I explain. She really is dull sometimes. We have to get on her good side again. I think it was Isla that complained to her precious mate about her sad childhood, and maybe this Luna will have come from better stock and realize that it was just a dramatization from an Omega. Juliana nods in agreement. That's a good idea, dear. They are our closest allies, or they should be at least, so we need to restore that. I whisper as people started to come down. Let's go mingle. Best behavior, all of you. We are representing the Great Silver Moon Pack. Seth sighs and Haley rolls her eyes. I bet they got this from Juliana. I was never so weak. Link me when you find the Luna. She should be in a white dress. I need to speak with her as soon as possible. Seth heads off for the bar, and Haley keeps looking around at the men that walk in. I almost wish she would find her mate just to get rid of her, but I doubt her mate was anyone of significance. Maybe if she could keep her dramatics under check, I could arrange a chosen mate for her. But I couldn't imagine anyone wanting to take on that burden when they met her, even if she was an alpha's daughter. The backyard starts getting full, and everyone starts mingling, chatter filling the air around us. I see Alpha Jackson by the front, talking to his Beta and Gamma, but I didn't see any young women near him. I edge towards the stage to keep an eye on Alpha Jackson. I motion for an Omega to bring me over another drink. Juliana ends up finding me after escaping for a third glass of champagne. I felt like every time I took my family out, I was babysitting them. In no time at all, darkness settled around the party, and Alpha Jackson got on the stage. He introduced his parents and then asked his Luna to come up on stage. I caught sight of a blonde in heels walking up the stage and made note of her appearance. Alpha Jackson wasn't looking at her, though. He was looking at a shorter, gorgeous girl with auburn hair. That couldn't be. How? Megan said she left. I looked back between the two women in white. I noticed the blonde was visibly showing. If that was Alpha Jackson's baby, there was no way that he could take Isla as his mate. Even I knew that. I would stay on this mysterious blonde side and make sure that she became Luna. Not even Alpha Jackson could bend rules like that. It's his fault he got her pregnant, and this child needed to learn to take responsibility for his actions. Alpha Jackson called up his doctor to explain about the tests. Bullshit. I really hope that people weren't buying this. It was obvious he was doing everything that he could to lie and then abandon his child. I would have to talk to the blonde. I think he called her Jennifer. I would do everything in my power to bring her justice and take down Alpha Jackson.
They dragged her away, kicking and screaming off the stage. I had to admit, I liked her spunk. I followed them at a distance. I assumed they were taking her to a holding cell, but I needed to find the entrance. I stopped in the distance when they brought her to a thick door at the back of the pack house. Convenient for bringing in prisoners without having to drag them through the entire pack house. I hang back so that I can hear what's going on, but stay in the shadows. "She's to be held in cell 1, their leader said.
"Get the fuck off me, Cameron. You won't get away with this,"
Jennifer spits.
"No, actually, you won't get away with it. You almost did, I have to admit, but thankfully, we're a tad bit smarter than you."
He laughs.
"You don't know who you're messing with. You can't hold me here."
"Yes, actually, we can."
"You don't have proof."
"Yes, actually, we do." She starts kicking and screaming.
"Make sure that someone is watching her at all times. She's to have no visitors today and a very limited list, all supervised."
"Yes, sir."
"Now, I'm going back to watch Alpha Jackson's mate become our Luna."
He turns on his heel and heads back to the ceremony. I would have to find a way to get to her. She seemed like she could be an asset to me, even if she was lying. We both had the same enemies.
Isla. I take a sip of champagne and look up and catch the eyes of someone familiar staring at me intently. A chill goes down my spine, and Adrastia's hair on the back of her neck stands up. Jackson notices me tensing and takes my hand.
"Who is that?" he asks.
When Jackson looks over, Seth doesn't look away and continues to stare at me. "The Alpha son from Silver Moon, Seth."
"And why is he staring at my mate?"
Flint growls. I turn to Jackson. "Relax, he's just a bully. There was that one incident, but nothing happened." Jackson is shaking next to me. "We are at our party. We can't start any more drama tonight." I try to laugh to keep the mood light. Jackson pulls me close and inhales my scent. I look up from him and see Alpha Benjamin walking up. I tense and try to take a deep breath. Once this conversation was over, I would have to face him again this evening.
"Well, hello, Alpha Jackson. That was one hell of a ceremony, I must say."
Alpha Benjamin walks up and addressed Jackson only. In tow were Juliana, Haley, and Seth. Seth wouldn't stop staring at me.
"Nothing like a bit of drama to keep things interesting,"
Jackson jokes.
We were told that you were to take a chosen mate, but that was obviously not the case,"
Alpha Benjamin muses.
"There was a bit of a miscommunication," Jackson says, "but it's all cleared up now, thankfully."
He pulls me closer to his side. Alpha Benjamin still hasn't looked my way.
"You know my mate, of course. Now officially my Luna of Moonstone."
Jackson looks at me proudly. Alpha Benjamin smiles widely and turns to me. It makes me uncomfortable.
"Yes, what an amazing accomplishment for you. You must be so proud of yourself."
Jackson stiffened next to me. It was clear what he meant. I didn't deserve this. I didn't believe I deserved it myself for a while, but I finally realized I did. The moon goddess chose this mate for me, this fate for me, and I wouldn't let her or my pack down. I feel lucky that the moon goddess bestowed on me such an honor, and I will try every day to live up to it and be the best Luna for this pack. I smile at him. I was Luna now. I wouldn't let him make me feel uncomfortable, or at least I wouldn't show it. "Hello, Luna Juliana, Haley, Seth, it's nice of you to come for my ceremony." I plaster on a smile and turn to them, making brief eye contact with each of them. Haley looks away from me, and Seth gives me a villainous smile. "It's a pleasure, Luna," he says, stepping forward next to his parents and reaching for my hand. I reluctantly place it in his, not trying to be rude.
"I have to say, I almost didn't recognize you outside of those little maid outfits."
He looks at Jackson.
"I'll have to send one, then you'll see what I mean."
Jackson growls.
"You will not objectify my Luna. As of now, she outranks you. You're just the son of an alpha who doesn't seem to have any intention of giving up his title to you." Seth smirks, knowing that Jackson won't cause a scene here. Now, Alpha Jackson. Wouldn't want to cause a scene. I was just saying how different your Luna looked. I can feel Jackson fighting to keep his anger in check. A lot of things have changed, Seth. Maybe not so much for you, though, I say too sweetly. He continues to smile. You never know when things might change again, Luna. He strolls away, throwing Jackson a backward glance. Juliana is frozen. She doesn't know what to say. My son can be a bit hard to handle, Alpha Jackson says, not even bothering to apologize for him. That's an understatement. I must say I have to commend your decision to hold off on giving him the title. He does seem very... Jackson pauses, choosing the right word. Unfit. Alpha Benjamin inhales but just nods. Alpha Jackson? He nods to him and walks away. Juliana follows. Classy family, Jackson mutters under his breath. I can't wait for the trial. Can I come? I ask. Actually, they wanted to see if you and Abigail would testify. I froze. That was never part of the plan. We can talk about it later. I'm sorry, they called the other day and it slipped my mind between paternity tests. No, I'll do it. I want to help. Jackson gave me a kiss on the forehead. We can discuss it further tomorrow. Tonight, it is all about you, my Luna. I felt like I met a million people. I don't know how I would ever remember the names of these people. The pack members were all so welcoming, and the Omegas I met were thrilled that I was the Luna. It seemed Jennifer had already scared them. I needed a second to breathe before the next round of meetings. Jackson, I'm going to take a minute. Don't go far. I walked to the edge of the party, my gaze cast downward so I wouldn't get pulled into another conversation. I just needed a chance to catch my breath and take in the events of tonight. I look back at the party, the back of my pack house, and I feel a swell of gratitude. I wasn't fully able to appreciate it with the bustle of the party, but I was a Luna. I was Luna of Moonstone. We did it, Adrastea. Yes, we did. It is more than earned. I feel like I'll never get over this feeling. It doesn't feel real. I hope we don't either. So, are we going to mark our mate now? Give me a few hours. Yes, baby girl. I can't wait. What are you doing here all alone? A voice pulls me from my conversation that sends a shiver down my spine. Anyone could be out here. Seth, I have to say, you're looking even better than you did in my bathroom that one time, in the too short skirt. Shame you're so covered up now. He looks me up and down, and it makes me feel naked. He takes a step forward, and I take a step back without even thinking. I'll never forget the feel of your body struggling against mine. It makes me hard thinking about that tight ass grinding on me. I gulp, trying not to relive those memories. I never let myself dwell on what could have happened that night, and it was all coming back to me. I felt frozen, paralyzed. He starts circling around me. Leave now, I muster. The big, bad Luna isn't so scary without her mate around, is she? He grins. He wouldn't know how to handle you. I see you're still not marked. I wouldn't have let you go a day without marking you if you were my mate. He's behind me now and brushes my hair away. I turn around and face him. I said, get the fuck away from me, you repulsive man-child. He takes a step back, but there's a glint in his eye now. Feisty, I like it. My dad promised you to me. What? It's going to be harder to get you now, but it's not impossible. He reaches forward for me, and without a second thought, I slap him. 8 out of 10. I hear a familiar voice come up behind me, and I let out a breath of relief. Only an 8? She's our Luna, come on, man. Lucas says to Cameron. Don't worry, I'll teach her. Better yet, teach her how to throw a punch. Cameron and Lucas come up behind me, but Seth doesn't back down. Does this fucker have a death wish? Lucas asks Cameron. Maybe he is just really, really stupid. Or bored. He must be out of his mind with boredom. Must be. If you have a death wish next time, just let us know. We would be more than happy to oblige. You don't have to go trying to harass our Luna to get our attention. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Cameron tuts. What should we do with him? Lucas asks. The dungeon seems boring. And he is already bored. Something more interesting then. Cameron sounds excited. Tie him to a tree upside down and naked? Lucas suggests. Could work. What about a good old-fashioned warning? Less fun, but we are on a time crunch. There's a party to be getting back to. Lucas concedes and turns to me. Luna, if you will excuse us, your mate must be worried sick. Yes, of course. I take one last look at Seth, and he finally has fear in his eyes. Good. Let's show you our favorite clearing, I hear Cameron say behind me. It's a bit of a walk, out of hearing distance. We think you'll love it. Might even want to build a summer home there. I hear Seth scream, and a punch to the face immediately shut him up.
Chapter 62. Marked. Jennifer. Some warrior whose name I don't know escorts me. Well, shoves me into one of the cells. This is a mistake, and when I get out, I will punish each and every one of you. He laughs. What's your name? I haven't seen you before. I'm a head warrior here, one of the best, and you will fucking pay.
My name is Mick, and this is a direct order from the Alpha. Warrior or not, anyone that tries to con the Alpha gets punished.
He slams the door and heads out before I can yell anything else at him. My eyes adjust to the dim light, and I look around the room. There was a thick mattress on the small bed and an actual duvet instead of the thin blanket and bare bed that was custom in most of the cells. There was a jug of water and cups, toiletries, and a change of clothes. Silk pajama set? What the fuck was going on? Was this all some sort of sick joke? A joke. That was all I was reduced to. A sham Luna ceremony everyone knew about except me. I don't think I've ever been this angry. I was so close. How did they figure it out? I didn't make any mistakes. The timing was almost perfect. The potion worked flawlessly. I don't understand. How did this get ruined? All this meticulous planning for nothing. All because of some Omega, some rogue filth. I can't stop shaking, and I'm fighting with every fiber of my being not to change myself into my wolf. There was barely enough room in here, and I couldn't risk harming the baby. There was a way out of this. One final blood test. Mine against his. I could have my parents reach out to him again. I would have to think of a way to explain it. I wonder if they would still take my side if they knew what I did. I could never tell them. As much as they wanted me to be Luna, I wasn't sure if they would let me con my way into it. I couldn't risk it. I would come up with an excuse. They wouldn't have to know, they would just have to help. I just needed to talk to them, to get them down here. I had to get this as soon as possible. When Jackson inevitably visited, I could steal a hair or something. That wouldn't be hard. I pace around, trying to calm myself. I could get out of this. I could get out of this, and then I would make every single last person suffer. Someone knocks on the door. Was it my parents already? Mick, that new warrior child, came in with a hot tray of food. What is this? I ask, staring at a tray filled with chicken, green beans, and mashed potatoes. This didn't look like the food that we served our prisoners. That is, if we ever fed them.
Luna's orders. She wants to make sure your baby is taken care of down here.
The Luna taking pity on me. I almost laugh. I throw the plate through the open door. Fuck her, I spit.
Suit yourself.
Mick shrugs and slams the door behind him. I must have fallen asleep at some point, thinking of all the ways I could torture Isla in the future. She was going to die, no doubt about it. I just had to choose the best option. Isla. Jackson stalks toward me, his eyes filled with lust.
I was worried this moment wouldn't ever happen, he whispers. Stand up and turn around.
Okay. I was confused but did what he said. He began swiftly unbuttoning the tiny pearl buttons on the back of my dress.
I have strict instructions from my mom not to ruin any part of your dress.
My face flushes, and I'm glad I'm facing away from him. Knowing his mom knew what was going to happen tonight made me embarrassed. The dress started to fall away, and he runs his fingertips up my back, goosebumps erupting from his touch. He runs his hands up to the nape of my neck and around the front of the sleeves of the dress, pulling them away from me. The dress slides down my body, and he helps me step out of it.
Turn around, he whispers in a husky voice. I want to look at you.
I'm wearing a black thong and matching bralette. Nothing special, but the way Jackson looked at me made it seem like it was the first time he has ever seen anyone naked.
You, my love, are wearing entirely too much clothing. I don't want anything covering that perfect body of yours.
I reach back to take off my bralette, letting it fall to the floor next to my dress. My nipples are already hard, and my body is charged with desire. Jackson loosens his tie and takes off his dress shoes and jacket before walking towards me. He kneels down and runs his hands between my thighs, pushing them apart. He buries his face between my legs and teases me by running his tongue over my underwear, making them soaking wet.
Goddess, you smell divine,
he growls into my core, and the vibrations make me moan. His large hands reach up and cup and knead my breasts. My head falls back, and I fight for balance, reaching a hand out to steady myself, holding on to his hair. One of his arms holds up my back as he pushes my underwear to the side with his tongue. I gasp as his tongue enters me, my core tightening against it, his saliva mixing with my wetness. He continues to knead my breast and lightly tug at my nipple. Pleasure started to build up between my legs. Suddenly he pulled out and I whimpered, feeling the loss of him immediately. He picks me up and lays me back on the bed, looking me over. I feel so seen, so naked. I moved to cover myself. His hands met mine and he pushed them above my head, lowering himself down so his lips were on mine.
Don't ever feel self-conscious with me. You belong to me. We belong to each other, he said, his lips brushing mine with every word. You were made for me. You are beautiful, Isla. I am so in love with you.
I grabbed the back of his head and tangled his hair in my hands, pulling him close. I needed to kiss him. His lips found mine and passionately answered. In the kiss was everything I felt for him. My longing, desire, eagerness, and desperation. I tried to convey it to him, and his response showed me I had. He kissed me back, eager, opening my mouth and slipping his tongue in, exploring every part of my mouth. He breaks away and steps back, unbuttoning his shirt. He dims the lights, coming back to me with nothing but his boxers on. Propping himself on top of me, I run my hands up and down his abs and broad chest appreciatively, rock hard and rippling beneath his warm skin. I wanted to memorize every single part of him. He takes one nipple in his mouth and swirls his tongue around it. My back arches in pleasure. His other hand pushes me back to the bed and holds me there. Once he's satisfied I won't move, he slides my underwear fully off. As he moves to the other breast, he swirls a finger around my juices and inserts it swiftly into me. I clench and moan at the sudden feeling, wanting more. He moves his finger out of me and inserts a different one, coating it with my flowing wetness.
Relax, baby. I'm going to put 2 in this time.
He pulls his mouth away from my breast and says. I nod and he inserts both fingers. I take a sharp inhale of breath as my walls stretch to accommodate him. A slightly uncomfortable feeling as he slowly moves them around.
Is that okay?
He whispers. I nod. That was all the encouragement it took for him to start pulling them out and pushing them in, flicking at my center and using his thumb to rub my clit. I moan and writhe beneath it, barely able to contain myself. The pleasure that was building up was so intense, a slow burn that suddenly turned into a fire. He took my nipple back in his mouth and bit it, pushing me over the edge. I moaned his name as an orgasm hit, starting at my core and radiating through me. He pulled back from my breast and watched me ride out the orgasm, letting out a low growl. "That's it, Isla. Moan for me, baby." I didn't feel self-conscious anymore. I wanted him to see my body, see what he was doing for me. When I came down, he pulled his fingers out and put one in my mouth. I sucked at it, tasting myself for the first time. "I want you to taste what I do to you." He purred in my ear, and he pulled his finger out of my mouth and put the other one in his. "You taste like nothing I've ever tasted before. I want to have this every day from here to eternity." I breathed out, wanting more of him, wanting to taste him. I got up and pushed him slightly back so I was positioned over him. He leaned back on his elbows and studied me hungrily. My hand shook as I pulled down his boxers, and his long dick sprang upward. I took his shaft in both of my hands and started rubbing it up and down, focusing on him. His head fell back on the pillow behind him and he groaned. "Fuck, Isla." Knowing I could make him feel like that made me turned on even more. Drops of him started leaking out of his throbbing head. I leaned down and licked it off. He hissed in pleasure and sat up to look at me. I made eye contact with him as I took his entire head into my mouth and gently sucked and licked while my hands ran up and down his entire length. He moaned my name and laid back down. I was getting wetter hearing what I was doing to him. I repositioned myself and started rubbing myself on his leg, craving some friction, some release. "I need you," I moan as I pull away from him. That was all I had to say. Before I could move, he repositions us so he's laying on top of me, his large head gliding over the entire entrance of my opening, coating it with my wetness. "Are you ready?" "Please, Jackson, I need you." I did need him. I needed him in ways I've never needed anything before. I had to get as close to him as physically possible. "Take a deep breath and try to relax. It will hurt a little bit in the beginning." I nodded, trying not to think of the pain, and took a deep breath. The head of his dick pushed into me, and I gasped, slamming my eyes shut. "Breathe, baby. Look at me. Focus on me." I open my eyes and study his face, filled with worry and love. He never took his eyes off mine as he slowly pushed his length into me. I gasped as a searing pain ripped through me, digging my fingers into his arms. I didn't know if I could do this. I tried to move, but the pain intensified. "Isla, it will get better. The worst part is over." He settles himself on his elbows and brushes the tears from my cheeks that I didn't realize I shed. Okay. I tried to breathe. The pain was subsiding, but still there. "I'm going to move slowly. I promise it will get better." I nod, scared of making any sudden movements. He slowly pulled out of me and the pain intensified again. I focused on breathing, but it was hard. My breath was coming out short and I couldn't stop it. He pushed back into me and dull sparks mixed with the pain. The second time he pulled out, the pain was barely recognizable. Pleasure that I've never felt before was taking over and intensifying. My breath caught in my mouth. He thrust back in and I moaned as he filled me completely. "Jackson," I sighed breathlessly. He took the encouragement and continued to rhythmically thrust in and out of me. Pleasure started to build up immediately. With every pump, it intensified more than anything I ever felt before. Any orgasm he gave me before was nothing compared to this. Jackson kissed me deeply and I struggled for air, moaning against his lips. My orgasm hit like fireworks. Every cell in my body was buzzing and I started seeing black spots. The sounds coming out of my mouth were nothing like I'd heard before. I couldn't form a word. I couldn't form a thought. My body was completely consumed with intense pleasure. With Jackson,
He let out a low growl against my lips. Fuck, Isla. You feel so good. My inner walls were clenching against his length. I finally caught my breath, exhausted and exuberated at the same time. My body felt awake, but my mind was mush. Ready for another one? He growled into my ear and grazed my marking spot, sending shivers down my body. He moved on to his back without leaving me, so I was laying on top of him. I moved to sit and gasped. He somehow felt deeper in me. Isla, you were beautiful. He looked at me and ran his hands over my curves and took one breast in each hand, kneading them. I moaned and started moving up and down on him. He hissed in pleasure and flicked my nipples. I already felt another orgasm building up. He held on to my hips and helped lift me up, thrusting upwards. If it wasn't for his hands holding me up, I knew I wouldn't be able to keep myself up. He sat up and pulled me close to him, so my nipples ran against his hard chest with every motion. He grabbed the back of my neck with one hand and pulled my lips to his. His motion slowed down, and I grabbed the back of his neck in my hands, grasping fistfuls of hair to get him closer. I loved this man, and I wanted to show him how much I needed him. I moved my hips up and down his length, our moans mixing together. He held me close to him and matched my pace, speeding up. Another orgasm tore through me. I grasped onto arms, his arms, anything I could for support. My nails ran down his back. My forehead fell to his. I went limp as I tried to make sense of anything but the pleasure. He brushed my hair to the side and licked my marking spot. I moaned involuntarily, and he smiled against me. He bit down on me, and searing pain shook my body, followed by an intense amount of pleasure. My vision went black for a second, and all I knew was Jackson. Jackson. I kept repeating his name, and it probably didn't sound like anything. My walls clenched around him, and I rode out the start of another orgasm before my last one even ended. My wetness was dripping down him onto his thighs. With our sweat and juices mixing together, I wanted to taste him. Isla, he grunted, after removing his teeth and licking my mark. I knew he was close. Mark him. She didn't have to tell me twice. I pushed his head to the side and slid my tongue over his marking spot. His salty sweat tasted delicious to me. I licked him once more before extending my canines and biting on his marking spot as he had done. His roar shook the room. He grabbed my hips as he thrust upward with such force I swear he was at the entrance of my uterus. His grunting became faster and more guttural, sounding primitive, fueled by lust and desire. I felt him explode inside of me, wave after wave. I fought to keep my teeth in him. Once his motion slowed, I licked his marking spot. The only sounds were us breathing. I rested my forehead to his. You're mine forever now, he whispered into my lips before capturing them with his. We shared a passionate, gentle kiss while he was still inside of me. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Chapter 63. Another Test. Benjamin.
This party was dragging on. There was no one here that was interesting to talk to. I've seen most of these people at Haley's ball anyway. Juliana was off making a fool of herself drunk somewhere, hanging off the arm of someone she's never met. She craved attention even more than Haley did sometimes. Maybe it was my fault for not giving it to her anymore, but we've been together for over 20 years. I couldn't fake it anymore. Alpha Benjamin. Someone came up. I blink on his name. I'm not sure if I've ever met him actually, but he knew my name, so I must have met him previously. I shake his hand. How are you? Not too bad. I was looking forward to meeting you in person, so I guess I didn't know him. Ah, and your name? John, previous alpha of the Blue Lake Pack. I've heard of that pack.
They weren't close enough for us to interact regularly. Nice to make your acquaintance. I look him over. You traveled far for a last-minute event, I note. Yes, Alpha William is like a brother to me. I've known Alpha Jackson since he was a pup. A close family friend. I nod, looking past him, trying to find a way out of this conversation. I know you must be busy. John pulls my attention back to him. Just looking for my Luna, making sure she doesn't overdo it with the champagne. I give a tight smile. He smiles at me. All right, go find her then. I guess I'll see you at the trial. I freeze. What do you mean? I ask icily. I'm one of the elders that will be presiding over your upcoming trial. He explains. Great, I would have to suck up to this waste of space. Of course, I look forward to getting that past me. Can I get you a drink? Maybe you can meet my family if they're around. They tend to run off to do their own thing at parties, I'm sure you understand. He nods. A drink sounds great. I would love to meet the rest of the family if they turn up. He agrees. I lead him to the bar and order a double whiskey. The night could not possibly drag anymore. Lucky for me, I couldn't locate Seth or Haley. Juliana stumbled over to me, giving me an excuse to leave the elder and take her back to our room. I knock on the door of the room Seth and Haley were sharing, and I get a grunt in response. I open it and see Seth lying across one of the beds. Dad, he groans. He must have gotten too drunk. I flip on the lights and Juliana comes up behind me and gasps, rushing past me to grab Seth's face. My baby! Oh, my sweet boy, what happened to you? He looked awful. One of his eyes was swollen shut and the other was dark and bruised. Blood pooled on the bed from his nose that was definitely broken. His suit was bloodied and his shirt was ripped. What the hell happened to you? I demand. What did you do? That earned me a glare from Juliana. He was obviously attacked. How dare you blame him? She hisses at me before turning back to him. Is anything broken? Let's go find the clinic. I'm fine, Seth mumbles. Juliana stumbles to the bathroom and comes out with a washcloth and a cup of water and starts to clean him up. Well, attempts to clean him up. She's mostly spilling water on him. Pathetic, both of them. Who did this to you? I ask. The Beta and Gamma. Of this pack? He nods. I clench my fist. This is the last time I would be disrespected by them. Alpha Jackson was an unfit leader, taking an Omega as his Luna, altering the elders to our mistreated Omegas. All the drama at tonight's ceremony. On top of all of that, he couldn't control his Beta or Gamma. I needed to find a way to put an end to this. If we couldn't move forward with our alliance, I would make sure to end it before he did, before he was even aware of his downfall. I left them to it. I had a call I had to make. Benjamin. I made sure to get up early before sunrise. I had an errand to run and I didn't need anyone else around. Thankfully, I only had to get past the front gate. I insisted that it was delivered. There was a late brunch today and I wanted to get this done well before people started to wake up. I snuck out back, thankfully not meeting anyone, but a few Omegas already bustling about the place, cleaning up the remnants of a long night. Taking a deep breath, I knocked on the back entrance to the cells. Someone answered immediately. What? He said, his voice flat. I am here to see my daughter. Alpha Jackson said I was allowed to visit today, I said confidently. He closes the door in my face and I hear some muffled voices. Okay. He opens the door. You have 10 minutes. He escorts me down to a dimly lit dungeon. I couldn't tell if there was anyone else down there. It was eerily quiet. He raps on the door with a few swift knocks. Wake up, princess. Your daddy is here. He laughs and walks away. I see her face come to the cell door through the long, thick bars. She was still wearing her Luna dress and her hair was everywhere. One night in the cell and she looked like she's been here for months. "Who the fuck are you?" she hisses. "I'm here to help," I whisper back. She rolls her eyes and backs away. "You literally have no choice. Who else has come to help you?" "Who are you?" she repeats. "That you don't need to know." She scoffs. "Why should I trust you then?" "We have a mutual enemy. Well, enemies really, so that should make us friends." She raises an eyebrow at this. "What do you have against them?" she questions. "Let's just say I have some unfinished business with the Luna, and the Alpha has stepped on my toes one too many times." She nods, thinking, "I guess I have no choice. But if you screw me over, I will make you suffer. You will lose everything that you've ever loved." I grin widely. "Same goes for you." She smiles back at me. She was attractive, actually. Maybe once she got that baby out and her body back, we could have some fun. I needed something fun. Everyone was so boring these days. She owed me for helping her anyway. It was the least she could do. "So," she pauses, waiting for me to go on. "Now what?" "I don't have a full plan yet. We can't do something too sudden. I don't want them to know it's me. Yet." She nods. "The first thing we can do is invalidate Isla as Luna," she says. "So is the baby really his?" I ask her. She looks away, deciding whether to trust me. "I need you to get in contact with someone for me immediately." If she has the first step to taking them down for good, I didn't care what it was. "Tell me what to do." "Okay, so his name is—" A loud bang of the door cuts her off. 2 guards walk in. "All of her meetings are supposed to be supervised, you idiot," one of them says to the other. "Just wait until the Gamma hears about this." I slip her an envelope between the bars before they get too close and wink. "I'm sorry, I just got to my station this morning. I didn't know." "You're off guard duty today. Go home." The leader turns to me. "Time's up. You can come back next week and all of your meetings from here on out will be supervised." He looks between us. A week. Jennifer's face visibly pales. "I'll see you as soon as I can," I promise her, not knowing exactly when that would be. There must be a way to get a note to her. Not everyone was loyal to their Alpha. I knew that well enough by now. "Time's up," the man repeats and follows me through the door to the stairs. I head out, not looking back. I needed to figure out a way to see her again. I felt good for the first time in weeks. Having an ally, even one in a holding cell at the moment, was better than none. I felt confident that we could work something out together. Jennifer. I really hoped I could trust that mysterious man. My fate was pretty much in his hands until my parents came to see me. I hope that was soon. I wish I got his name, his pack, something. I didn't know how to contact him. I really hope that wasn't a joke or someone on Jackson's side to try to get information out of me. I didn't give any information, though. Did I? I carefully went back over our conversation in my mind, satisfied that I didn't give anything too incriminating away. I ran my fingers on the envelope. I wonder what time it was. Every minute felt like an hour down here, and I was starving. I almost regret it not eating last night, but I didn't want to give Isla the satisfaction. The innocent Cinderella act was getting pretty old. I don't realize how Jackson didn't see right through it. No one is actually that nice. I didn't need her pity, and I guarantee I would not give her any pity when her time comes at my hand. I lay back on the bed. I was bored as hell. The door opened. Maybe I would get some food now. I heard the shuffling of feet and hushed voices and some crying. Why was someone crying? Was there a new prisoner? I stashed the envelope under my pillow. My baby, my sweet baby, reduced to this? I can't believe it. I never thought you would be so cruel as to a member of your own pack. Your own ex-girlfriend, for crying out loud. My mom sobs. I roll my eyes. You are going to be sorry for this. My dad angrily shouts. How many people were down here? A light flickers on and the sudden brightness hurts. I recoil back. Jackson, Lucas, Cam, my parents, the doctor, 2 people I've never seen before, and that stupid warrior, Mitch or Mickey or some idiot, are standing in front of my cell. What did I do to deserve such a lovely welcome party? I joke icily, coming up to the bars. You know what you did, Cam responds. We're ending this once and for all. My dad glares at Jackson. Then you'll let my daughter out. Let me out? I wonder what deal he struck with them. Hi, my name is Dr. Lewis. One of the strangers walks up to me looking timid. Was he from some loony bin? I wasn't going to a mental hospital. Is that what my parents wanted for me? That had to be worse than this. I back up involuntarily. I'm not going with him, I shout. Going with him? No, dear. My mom steps forward. He's a doctor we brought to conduct a paternity test. No, no, not yet. I look at my mom, my eyes pleading, hoping she could read them. This was too soon. I wasn't ready. I didn't know they would want to do this today. I thought they would have forgotten about me for at least a week or so after all the festivities. No, this can't be happening. I shake my head back and forth. Darling, it's okay. He's going to conduct one for us so that we can prove that the PAX doctor messed up or is lying. My dad glares at the doctor. I'm here to take a sample too. We will compare the results. Dr. Lockhart steps forward, looking exasperated. Again. Back to the drawing board, eh, doctor? Lucas chimes up. Get it? The drawing board, like blood drawing? Cam rolls his eyes and the doctor fights a small smile. Everyone's a critic, Lucas mumbles. Can we please get this over with? I have guests I'm still hosting today, Jackson says. I avert my gaze. Don't let me hold you. Go back to your fucking party. I'll be here later. I turn around, indicating this was over. Honey, the sooner we get the results, the sooner we can get you out of here, my mom says. I don't want to. I haven't eaten. I might faint. That can't be good for the baby. You're starving my pregnant daughter down here? My dad roars at the Mick guy. No, I brought her a fresh meal from the kitchen. Luna's orders. She refused it and threw it at me. Mick shrugs. Let me eat, and then we can do this another time. I tried to grasp at any excuse. This can't happen today. This would seal my fate. We're doing this now. Then you eat, Jackson says curtly. Mick goes to open the door and I step back. No, I'm feeling sick, nauseous. I don't think... We're doing this now, Jackson commands in his alpha tone. Sit down. I'm forced to submit. Anger courses through me. I wonder if I could shift, if I could run, take them off guard. Both the doctors come up and draw blood from different arms. Okay, that was a lot of blood. I wasn't lying now about feeling lightheaded. There we go, all done. Thank you, doctor, my mom says to him. Now, please go get this tested, far away from here, and call us with the results. I'll let you know the results of this test, too, Dr. Lockhart says. Again. Is that everything, then? Cam asks. I have everything we need for an accurate paternity test, the mystery doctor says. Very good. I want you all to sign the official statement as witnesses, and I will need a copy of both of your results. The other strange man spoke for the first time. Yes, Elder John. Let's go back to my office and finish this now. I need to be downstairs to welcome my guests, Jackson says. An elder was presiding over this? This couldn't be contested. Whatever the results were are rock solid now. I knew what the results would be. Enjoy your brunch, I spit. I guess I'll just starve down here. My mom lets out a wail. We will enjoy it. Lucas flashes me a smile. Don't worry, she will be fed, Mick says to my mom. I can't guarantee she will eat it, though, he scoffs. My mom looks back with one last glance before breaking down into tears. Well, fuck. There was no way I could get out of this now. The only way would be to escape. I waited until they left to open the envelope and dump it on my bed. A white note falls out that says, Open me first. and a small folded piece of paper that looks like it's glued closed. I listen, and I can't hear anyone else. When the time comes, open the small envelope and you'll be saved. You have to be out of the dungeon for it to work. Chapter 64. Brunch. Isla. Waking up, everything felt right. I felt safe and secure. I hated to admit it, even to myself, but I was still on edge the past few days, worried that something would happen to take Jackson away from me. Now that I was part of this pack, Luna of this pack, and we marked each other, I felt that I could relax for the first time in a while. I heard the water running in the bathroom, and I followed the sound, looking for my mate. "Good morning, Luna." Jackson smiled widely at me. "How are you feeling?" "Incredible, besides being a bit sore." Getting out of bed was actually a bit of a struggle. "I thought you might say that." He motioned to the full bathtub behind him. "Care to join me?" He helped me into the bath, and I leaned against his broad chest. The water felt amazing on my sore muscles, and I could feel the last bit of tension release from my body. Jackson lathered a sponge with lavender soap and massaged my back. This must be what heaven was like. I leaned back again, and he kissed my hair. "Let's get your hair washed. Unfortunately, I still have to share you with some others today." He sighs. I almost forgot about the brunch. "What time is it? How long did I sleep?" "Don't worry, love. We still have an hour before we have to be downstairs. Everything is taken care of. We just need to show up and mingle." I nod. I could do that. Elder John is staying an extra night or two to preside over the blood test so we can officially put it behind us, and no one can question it again. You'll really like him. "When is the blood test scheduled?" "Already done." I turned to face him. Lisa and Greg practically banged down the doors of the pack house this morning. They brought their own doctor and insisted another test be done immediately. Actually, it worked in our favor. He shrugged. "I'm glad that's over with then." We reluctantly got out of the bath, and I got ready. The closet was easier to navigate now, and it didn't take me long to find a knee-length, deep blue fitted dress that looked something like Gianna would approve of. I finished it with a pair of black flats and a chunky gold bracelet that matched the gold in my necklace. I haven't taken it off since Abigail gave it to me. I knew it was stupid, but it made me feel closer to my family, having something that might be a symbol of who they were. Jackson comes up to me and slinks his arm around me. "I missed you," he murmurs into my marking spot, and shivers run down my body. "How does this look? Will your mom approve?" "You look every part the Luna my mom was. And you know, if you don't like her style, we can get you a new wardrobe. My mom has been dying to take you shopping since she first heard about you." I shake my head. Most of the things she picked for me are perfect. I'm still trying to figure out my own style, but I love hers. She kept things pretty simple. I look around. Well, besides those ball gowns, I'm scared to even go near them. Jackson chuckles and pulls me close. "Movie afternoon after this brunch is over?" I hear Lucas's voice in my head. I would have to get used to being able to link everyone now. "I already invited Abigail," Lucas adds before I can say anything. Sounds perfect. "Let's get this brunch over with so that I can spend more time alone with you." "Sorry, I made plans with Lucas. We're having a movie afternoon." He looks at me in mock hurt. "And I wasn't invited?" I laughed. "Relax, he just told me about it. I'm sure I can swing an invite for you." I trail off. I might have to pull some strings, though. I try to walk away, but he pulls me back, kissing down my neck. "I wish you weren't so damn charming. Then people wouldn't want to steal you away from me so often," he complains. "You're right. I should try to be more like Jennifer," I tease. "You wouldn't dare." Gianna, of course, had everything set up well before we got down there, and we were one of the first to arrive. She kept with the colors and theme from the night before, and everything looked gorgeous. It was a sit-down brunch with a set menu for our guests to choose from. There was a mimosa bar in the corner with a champagne tower, On one side of the room was a dessert table with mini cheesecakes, fruit pastries, and a white chocolate fountain with assorted fruit. Isla, don't you look lovely? Gianna comes up and kisses my cheek. Jackson, your tie is crooked. You've outdone yourself, Mother, Jackson says as she straightens his tie. It really is incredible, I say in complete awe of her. I don't think I could ever pull something off like this. Isla, this is all your style. I just helped execute it. I'll teach you that part of it. It's easy. You already have an amazing sense of decor. She smiles at me. Now, let's get you a mimosa before the chaos ensues. She guides me towards the bar. What flavor? I honestly don't know what a mimosa is, I say. How about a classic with orange juice? I nod. Sounds decent enough. Abigail comes in and scans the room and rushes towards us. Gianna, this is even better than anything I imagined. I'm not sure how you did this all. I couldn't have done it without you, I can tell you that much, Gianna replies and orders her a mimosa. Where's Jim? Gianna looks past Abigail. He's coming. He's showing Elder John the previous test for the case. Gianna sighs. I do almost feel bad for Lisa and Greg. Almost. More than anything, I'm relieved that I don't have to share a grandchild with them. Gianna takes a long sip of her mimosa. Oh yes, the afternoon is free for us once brunch is over, but we are hosting a formal dinner since we have an elder joining us. 6 o'clock sharp for both you ladies. I'm invited? Abigail looks at Gianna with wide eyes. Of course, you're family now. Abigail's eyes well up for not the first time this weekend. Jackson comes up and puts his arm around me. Do you mind if I borrow my Luna? I want her to meet a few people that we didn't have the chance to last night. Of course, darling. Don't tire her out too much. Make sure she's having fun. Don't worry, Mom. She can handle it. He kisses the back of my hand, and I'm introduced to a new alpha and his family. After a while, the slight tinkling of glass gets everyone's attention. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Gianna's voice can carry by itself. I wonder if I could figure out how she did that. We are honored to have you join us to celebrate our new Luna. Cheers erupt from the audience. Gianna smiles at them all. If you would be so kind to take your seat, brunch will begin momentarily. Jackson escorts me to the head table and we take a seat. Lucas, Cameron, his parents, Abigail, Jim, and Elder John are seated with us at the table. Plates full of small scones, pastries are placed on the table in front of us. Omegas walk around with champagne bottles and different juices to top up the guests. This was more thought out than anything we've ever hosted at Silver Moon before. Elder John sits to my right. Isla, I have to say, you are already making an incredible Luna. Thank you, Elder John. Please call me John. You're like family being Jackson's mate. He was like a son to me growing up. William and I were always so close. I smile at him. Thank you, John. But I haven't done any of this. This was all Gianna. I motion to the room around us. I'm not talking about the ceremony, although it was lovely. I know what you've been through the past few months, and the sacrifices you were willing to make to ensure that this pack kept their alpha. I have to say, I'm impressed. Not many people would give up their mate for the benefit of a pack they hardly knew. He looks me in the eyes. I get nervous. Not nervous, but uncomfortable. This level of praise from an elder was something I never experienced before. I grab my necklace and run it through my hands subconsciously, something I recently started doing absent-mindedly or when I needed comfort. That, my dear, is what makes you a good He looks down at my fingers. What is that? He asks curiously. I show it to him. The only thing I have from my childhood. Abigail took it off me when I arrived at Silver Moon when I was a child. She kept it safe all this time and just returned it to me after my birthday. I shrug, moving the pendant through my fingers, the diamond sparkling in the light. Jackson thinks it might have belonged to the pack my parents were from. They were rogues when I was found, though. His brows crease together. Interesting. He doesn't look away.
I want to talk to you about it later if you don't mind. I think I have a few theories on that.
He picks up the menu. The confused look never leaves his face.
Now, should I try the steak and eggs or the eggs Benedict?
He smiles at me. Chapter 65A. Heirlooms. Jackson.
Isla did so well last night and today.